My name's Darren Sword. I work for the London Borough of Brent, specifically as a work stream lead within the Housing Management Service. What was our business requirement? We have several contractors who obviously interact with us on a daily basis. And the issue we face is we don't have any direct access into their data. And if we don't have any direct access into their data, our residents don't have any direct access. So the issues that arise from that is when it comes down to contract monitoring and understanding their performance, we're pretty much relying on what the contractor tells us, which of course to monitor a contract isn't the best position to be in. That's one issue. The second issue is, as I say, residents don't necessarily have access to the services that contractors are providing. So in the case of the PowerApp for this one, we have cleaning contractors that go into our 2,000 blocks across Brent and clean them on a daily basis. So literally clean the stairwells, clean the windows. There's a large number of tasks for these cleaners that go in. And there's about 70 to 80 staff that do this. As I say, this is actually a chargeable service for our leaseholders. So every year they are billed, and part of that bill includes the cleaning service that we provide to them. So of course they often query the quality of our cleans, if a clean's even been done. And the issue that we have currently is that we can't really evidence when a clean's been done because there's no pictures or any digital data. So our business requirement was to get something or a solution that essentially allowed us to get that kind of data together. We've been working with Infosys on implementing and developing a CRM using Microsoft Dynamics 365 since November last year. So we have gone through a few phases there. The reason we chose Infosys for implementation of the Microsoft PowerApp was because over the last year we could see the actual skill that they bring to the table, the fact that they now know our business more than any other partner would do, and they're pretty much ingrained into everything Brent is doing currently on our digital roadmap. So building on that, one of our visions for Brent 2020 is to offer a seamless contemporary service for our residents to allow them to take advantage, really, I suppose, of the digital world. So that's where Infosys then came in. So as a result of that, corporately, the program was funded to look at a job tracking app using Microsoft PowerApps for our cleaners to go out and record just exactly what they've done. But that's only one side of the coin. It was actually tasked of us to create a generic app whereby any contractor could use the same kind of shell based on the app, whereby led the creative solutions from Infosys for other contractors to come on board as and when we can onboard them into the solution. So the technology that we chose alongside Infosys, or was recommended, I should say, as I've already said, was the Microsoft PowerApp. So we worked with design specialists and architects and a number of other staff across Infosys to come up with a number of draft wireframes alongside Brent and Wettins, our contractors. We came up with a design which kind of grew over several weeks, but I've got to stress that was pretty quick because previous sort of incarnations of this type of work had gone on for many months, if not years, which is why they weren't successful. Anyway, we, over, I think, say 4 to 6 weeks, came up with a draft wireframe, which we have now moved into UAT with. So the technology Infosys offered was the PowerApp, which essentially was something that was quick and easy to build. And actually, one thing to stress was that we needed something that was transferable, so something that Infosys could give to us that we could then embed in our organisation and then allow staff in our digital services to take it forward. And that was, again, the beauty of the PowerApp and working with Infosys. So comments on Infosys' design solution. So as I said before, it was an absolute seamless process. We gave them our functional requirements document, told them exactly what we needed. They came up with an original wireframe, which frankly hasn't changed much since we took hold of it. It was good. It worked completely for us. So the benefits of using Microsoft PowerApp for us over any other solution was the fact that it's such a simple UI. So I think I've spoken before about the staff that will be using this app. What we needed was something that was simple, that anyone could pick up without any training, because again, with a high turnover of staff we have, and in fact most organisations have, we don't really have the resources to continually run a training program, so we needed something that was simple, could be picked up with a one-page guidance document to kind of run through, and PowerApps gave us that solution. So not only was it from a training point of view, but also from the perspective of the simplicity of it all. It's very easy to design, or that's my understanding. And most importantly is the fact that any changes that need to be made can be made on the fly. So there's no real massive coding development tasks that come from most other software. This seems to be something PowerApp that you can configure as and when you need, and even in the field if the person's got the correct software. So it really gave us that agile approach, which is what we're trying to use here at Brent, to kind of give our residents a better quality of service. In terms of feedback from wettons, so how can I explain this? As a contractor, of course, perhaps you could say their main aim, of course, is to please us, but what they surface is completely chosen by them. What this PowerApp gives is something that everyone can use. So in terms of their feedback, the staff that were using it aren't, shall we say, necessarily geared towards technology. So when they were given the phones and the app, the staff that have used it so far took to it like ducks to water. It's intuitive, it's easy to understand. We recognise there'll be some hand-holding that goes along with it, but the app itself has just allowed them to kind of understand and be comfortable with what there is. So would I recommend Infosys as a partner? I think evidence speaks for itself. The fact that we originally brought Infosys in to implement our CRM instance, and after a year we've brought Infosys in to work on several other projects, including this PowerApp, is kind of testament to the fact that we see Infosys as an innovative company, but more than that, a company that works with us and clearly works tirelessly, quite literally 18 hours a day, just to make sure Brent gets what they need. So yes, I would definitely recommend Infosys and Microsoft's products to any partner coming on board.